Hello, everyone. This is the most magnificent bird, Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I'm back at it with another character review, and this character review will be on Gold Mythic Tactician Heath. And before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe, and hopefully all of you and your loved ones are staying warm and in safety from any potential winter weather you have. I'm doing good and I'm staying safe for the most part. And yes, before we get into it, Tactician Heath, I'm going to talk about the Battle Pass. Yes, I know, I haven't talked about a Battle Pass in, God, who knows how long, because the Battle Passes really haven't been worth talking about until now. So, Heath is in this current Battle Pass, so that's good news, but that's where the good news ends, because it's nothing but bad news after that. While Heath might be in the Battle Pass, sure, only one copy of Heath. I was about to call him Keith. But one copy of Heath, and they went up on the Battle Pass. Like, really? You know how much they went up on the Battle Pass? $5. $5 for one copy of a tune. Are you kidding me? How is that worth it? And right now they haven't even explained how you're supposed to get the other 4 copies. They're like a deer in headlights right now. I mean, they're going into, I don't know. Perhaps next Battle Pass they'll learn and put all 5 copies. But, yeah, let me not give them too much credit. No. It took them so long to even think about putting one copy back in the Battle Pass. They must be losing money on the Battle Pass. Got to. But they're not thinking clearly all the way. So, yeah. But the other good news, the avatar this time around is pretty neat. Ezekiel, Brutus, and Shiva. That's a pretty good avatar. I mean, I don't know, I'm very curious. Will people buy the Battle Pass? I don't know. There's a pretty decent weapon in there, but $15? No. But thank goodness they probably didn't put all 5 copies in there, because the Battle Pass would probably be $35 at that point. $5 per copy of a tune. Like, they didn't lost their flipping minds. But anyway, enough of me ranting about the Battle Pass. Let's go ahead and get through this character review, shall we? Tactician Heath, Militia. His trait is tough, his role is a tank, and his allegiance is a member of the militia. So let's go ahead and take a look at his stats. His attack stat is 14,349. His defense is 17,220. And his HP is 25,829. Let's take a look at his adrenaline rush. Bursting defenses. The recharge rate is 55 AP, so that's a little bit faster than most gold mythics. Deal 50% of the primary target's max HP as maim damage to a line of enemies. This fighter gets 50% bonus HP, 200% defense, and heals 50% of their max HP for 2 turns. So the 50% of the target's max HP as maim damage, that's pretty good. And that's going to be really good, especially if you're going up against certain defensive teams. Oh man, can you imagine the crazy amounts of HP that's out there, and you're going to be dealing half of that damage as maim damage to the primary target. Potentially that could be crazy amounts of maim damage, which can be really good. So I do like that. That is a good part of this tune for sure. No, to a line of enemies. Okay, right. That's going to be an absolute great amount of maim damage to that line of enemies. So that's going to be really great. Plus, he's going to be getting 50% bonus HP and then 200% defense, and he's going to be healing himself for 2 turns. Now, if he has full HP, then that last part is not really going to be necessary. But who knows, maybe he's taken a lot of damage before he's gotten his adrenaline rush off, so potentially that could be really great. So overall, nothing too strange or too complicated about his adrenaline rush. It's pretty straightforward, and you know what? I kind of like it, but it sucks he's locked behind that ridiculous battle pass. But anyway, moving on. Let's go ahead and take a look at his signature move. Targeted Advantage. The initial cooldown is for 1 turn. Cooldown for 1 turn as well, and number of uses unlimited. Remove all positive effects from a line of enemies. One other enemy gets minus 15% defense for each positive effect that the primary target had. Maximum minus 90% for 1 turn. Deal 1 damage to self. Again, what's the deal with deal 1 damage to self? What, like, help me understand that one. I don't know. I don't get that one, but that's the second tune in recently I've seen it. He's going to hurt himself for 1 damage. I don't get how that makes sense, but I don't know. But anyway, that's not the important part. So he's going to be removing all positive effects from a line of enemies. That's pretty good. That is really good. So if you want to pay for this battle pass, and if you want to go for the tune, he could be an alright defensive tune, honestly. So him removing all positive effects from a line of enemies, plus 1 other enemy gets minus 15% defense for each positive effect that the primary target had. That'll be pretty good as well, because that could be a lot of minus defense. And it says the maximum defense can be minus 90, that you can't get to minus 100, which, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to, but whatever. It's still not bad. It's still pretty good, especially if you want to go for a defensive tune. I honestly wouldn't have had no problem them making him a promo tune, because I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, where are we supposed to get the other 4 copies, Scopely? Man, when you think they're making a step forward, they're going 10 steps back. My God, that battle pass. But anyway, the signature move is pretty good. I don't think there's anything negative about it right now. So yeah, I can't really think of anything negative about it. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at his mythic abilities. Strength, 40% critical hit resistance. I probably would go ahead and level this one up all the way because I'm sure, you'll be able to get the most out of Heath that way. Tough concentration. At the start of each wave, 100% chance all teammates get focus for 100% chance all teammates get focus for 1 turn, plus 1 turn for each other tough teammate. Okay. So tough concentration at the start of each wave. The only negative I have about this is it only happens during each wave. So that's the only negative, really. And it seems like they want you to build a tough team potentially around Heath. That way you can get the most out of it. Because there's a 100% chance for all teammates to get focus only for 1 turn. Plus 1 turn for each other tough teammate. So potentially 2 turns. So it probably would be best to build a tough team around Heath. That way you can get the maximum use out of tough concentration. And like I said, there's only really one negative about it, and it's the fact that it's not happening for each turn. So if you are coming up against really difficult road maps, each wave part of that will be pretty good then. So it depends on the type of enemies that you're facing in those tough road maps. That's where I think it's going to be better used in the really tough road maps with like 4, 5, and 6 waves versus using in war and raids. But you can definitely use them in raids and CRW, right? So that one I think would be useful for sure. Impaired focus. Whenever an enemy gains focus, 100% chance a random enemy gets impaired for 2 turns. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. Excuse me. So whenever an enemy gets focused, which is more than likely to happen, they will be impaired for 2 turns, which I believe, yeah, Eva and Ghost get focused. So if I was coming up against Heath in a raid or something like that, immediately Eva and Ghost would be impaired for the first 2 turns, which that would suck for me, but it would only suck momentarily, but not really, because Eva and Ghost's signature move is miles better than their adrenaline rush, so I'm kind of okay with that. I don't really mind that, but for anybody else that would gain focus, that would suck. So that would be a good one to level up. Confused protection. When this fighter gains a guardian shield, 100% chance a random enemy gets confused for 1 turn. Again, that's going to be good, but there is a negative to it. The only negative is that random enemy is only getting confused for 1 turn, which, I mean, in a certain situation, maybe that 1 turn will make a difference. Maybe, maybe not. It all depends. And that's kind of a, when Heath is going to get a guardian shield, that's kind of a spoiler as to what his specialist skill is going to be. Sentinel, yeah. So there you go. So the thing about this is, there's a good and a negative. I got the negative out of the way. The good thing about this is, he's potentially going to be getting a guardian shield every single turn. So I probably would go ahead and level up Confused Protection, because that annoyance of a teammate of yours being confused potentially, it's going to be more of a inconvenience. It's going to be an annoyance if you're coming up against a team with Heath in it. So I probably would go ahead and level it up, just that way you can bug your enemies, essentially, and kind of get them a little frustrated. So that one is not like a huge problem, but it's definitely going to be an inconvenience for you potentially. So, or a potential team that you might be struggling against or something. So I probably would go ahead and level that one up. So let's go ahead and take a look at the specialist skill, Sentinel. At the start of combat and every turn, defensive and offensive turn, this fighter gets a Guardian Shield. There you go. Now, you know how I was saying with Jang that I like the specialist skill, but I think they put it on the wrong tune. Even though I have a problem with Heath and the whole, him being locked behind the battle pass, this time I do feel like they put the specialist skill on the right tune this time, because there is no offensive capabilities with Heath at all. So hence Sentinel is going to help keep him alive, because he's a tank tune. He's very defensive. So this time they got it right, even though I'm not a big fan of him being locked behind the $15 battle pass. Like, come on. Like, besides that, they actually put it on the right tune this time, because Heath is a full-on tank. Whether if he's a top of the top tank tune remains to be seen, but right now, on paper, they definitely put the specialist skill on the right type of tune this time. So I have to give them some leeway on that. They got it right the second time, huh? Lightning struck the second time, maybe. But on paper, they got it right. They put it on the right tune for sure. So let's take a look at his weapon. And as you can see, you can pretty much put whatever you want into his hands. So, Heath, he looks ready. He looks like he's ready for a winter storm. I mean, literally, pretty much all of America is going for a winter storm in one way or another. Like, literally right now. I did a character review on Danny, but I don't know which video is gonna come out first. I might come out with this one first, or the Danny one first. I'm not really sure, but these are being filmed kinda back to back, just because I wanted to knock these character reviews out of the way and just get them over with. So even if you guys get this one first, remember, I recorded the Danny one first, followed by Heath, but y'all might get them out of order. Maybe, maybe not. It depends on how I want to upload them. So I'm probably going to upload one a day. So just be looking out for them, because I just wanted to get them out of the way. So yeah, Heath, he definitely looks ready for a winter storm, and I hope all of you are as well. And pretty much that's all I got for you guys for today. Are you gonna be getting the $15 battle pass in order to get only one copy of Heath? I'll be very interested to see if there's going to be anybody out there that is actually going to go for this without knowing how to get the other copies of Heath, which at the time of this recording, they haven't said nothing about that. Like, if you are maybe interested in Heath, I would maybe hold off until they say how you're going to be able to get the other 4 copies of Heath. So right now, I would probably hold off until they relay that information. But other than the debacle with the Battle Pass, what are your thoughts on Gold Mythic Tactican Heath? I don't know if I said that right, but whatever. What are your thoughts on Gold Mythic Tactician Heath? Do you think he potentially could be a really good tank, or do you think maybe he might not be as good as he's presented to be on paper? Whatever your thoughts are on him, let me know down in the comments. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. Or if you're new, welcome in for the first time. All of you are very awesome, and I thank you again. And don't forget to hit the bell and switch on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. I am Beak, and I'm gonna go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.